and style authority on her book, The Costco Incident. What did you do?
I chained myself to this Mexican woman's shopping cart, and I said, I am here to sell the book. And Costco said, this is our property. I said, no, it's not. It belongs to the American Indians.
Still working at age 79.
With celebrity comes responsibility.
Yeah,
and a lot of people do not understand that. You must accept the good things that fame brings us, but you must also take the responsibility.
Plus, her daughter, Melissa, joins us to talk about their reality show.
If we're gonna do a reality show, let's make it something that's organic about, being an adult with a child and your mother, who happens to be Joan Rivers, moving back in with you.
Next on Larry King Now. Welcome to Larry King Now. She's one of my oldest and dearest friends. She's the wonderful Joan Rivers, the comedian, author, reality TV star. She hosts Fashion Police on E! And recently published a book called I Hate Everyone, Starting With Me. By the way, this book is hysterical.
Thank you.
The third season of her reality TV show, Joan and Melissa, Joan Knows Best, will premiere early next year, and Melissa will be joining us shortly. You do hate everyone, don't you? That's really part of your shtick.
I think the only good thing about age is you drop a veil and you not hate, annoyed.
Things annoy you.
Things annoy. Do your job. Do your this. Don't give me this nonsense. It's like the elections. Who did we like best? It was like they're both supposed to be so wonderful. It was like choosing Menendez brothers. Which one do you like better, Lyle or Eric? I mean, things annoy me, and every time they would annoy me, I put them down.
I know each other so long. This
Yes.
is a really funny book. We're the same age.
We don't have to go there.
What keeps you going? By the way, the documentary on you was one of the best ever made.
Thank you.
I told you that when
we did the show.
Yes.
What keeps me going? I love the business. I look at my friends that have had careers that didn't love that. I love every minute.
You still like Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, 8 o'clock?
Yes.
In the theater, and the jokes are all lined up, and you walk out. You still love that?
Love it. I love it because I'm going to go on stage in Harrisburg, and I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth the first 10 minutes of that show. So I always end up having a better time than they're having.
It's not the money.
Well, it's the money, too.
You still need the money? Come on.
Let me just explain to you.
Explain.
If you live in New York, you can go to any Jewish doctor and get special treatment because I send them through college. Do you understand?
Yeah, yes.
I have supported a lot of people in my time.
Why did you do so much to yourself? You're a gorgeous girl.
Yeah,
you didn't need it.
Why? Like you went out with ugly women?
No,
So shut up. There's your answer. I never, ever had to fight somebody off a casting couch. You understand? Best friends would say, I'm going away for a year. Would you watch my husband?
All right, let's go right to things direct. The Costco incident. I understand you protested the fact that Costco, which is a warehouse,
Yes.
didn't sell this book.
Yes.
So you chained yourself?
Yes.
What did you do?
I got very angry because my book, which is funny, I have it, I won't say it, can I say it on show? I have all my reviews on the back from funny people.
Including a dead person.
All dead. For example, this is what they didn't like. Meanwhile, this is a store that sells 50 Shades of Grey and condoms by the bucket,
They weren't going to carry a book because you had
it said,
filthy words.
Maria Antoinette said, instead of cake, after reading this book, let her read shit.
Okay. So they didn't want to carry it because of these
banned
quotes?
it. Yes.
So what did you do?
I had just come off a vacation with my grandson where we had visited the 13 original colonies. Freedom! So I said, First Amendment has made this country great. And so I chained myself to this Mexican woman's shopping cart. And I said, I am here to sell the book. And Costco said, this is our property. I said, no, it's not. It belongs to the American Indians. So unless Pocahontas shows up here.
You were in the store,
chained to a shopping
Why
cart.
a Mexican woman?
Because I knew that she didn't know who I was. She wasn't going to give me any trouble.
So what did the store do?
The store called the police. And the police showed up. And I got very excited because I thought I was going to be a Jewish Lindsay Lohan.
Did they arrest you?
They begged me to go quietly. And at that point, I did. I made my point.
Did they carry your book?
No. Nor will I sell it to them unless they ask.
What do you think? That's just pompous?
I just think it's stupid. It's stupid. It's a funny book. And it's this whole country is so uptight politically and political correctness. Yeah, this country is so uptight about so many things. And this was like a stupid reason not to carry a book.
You are not a Costco person, though.
I love those kind of stores.
You do?
Oh, you give me toilet paper for a year, and I'll show you a happy woman. I have a country house. I buy toothpaste. Oh, I love that kind of stuff.
So you actually like Costco even though they disappointed you?
Disappointed is a nice way to put it. Yes.
They should have carried the book.
They should have made me a Costco customer.
You know, the Costco is big supporters of Obama. The company, the president of the company, they're big Obama.
Well, now I'm starting to hate them. I hate them both. Doesn't matter. Nobody should. And that's another thing.
You hate Obama and Romney?
I hate anybody that can buy in their way into a political situation. I think there should be a cap on donations.
But if you have to run, you got to spend. So why are you yelling at they got to spend?
I'm yelling at everybody.
Oh, that's what I forgot.
I'm yelling at everybody.
All right, you have spats with the. I know you got into it. This flips me. Rihanna. You tweeted that Rihanna was an idiot for admitting that she still loves Chris Brown.
Yes.
Who was a guest on the show, Chris Brown, by the way.
Yes.
Rihanna responded with a quip about Joan being too old and slow.
Right.
Is this now a feud?
Yes, and my retort was, if you keep going out with someone that beats you up, you'll never get to be old. Because Melissa and I get very serious, Larry.
Okay.
Melissa, she'll talk to you about it, was in an abusive relationship. And if you don't get out, what have they proven? They've proven it takes 7 times before a woman leaves. And by the time they leave, it's close to you have to leave.
Playing devil's advocate for a moment. What if Rihanna were to say, it's none of your business?
She's right. But Rihanna, she's right. And you want to say, you don't want to have teeth? Don't have teeth. You want to be black and blue? Be black and blue. But too many little girls want you. And too many little girls are looking at you. You know, with fame, with celebrity comes responsibility.
Yeah,
and a lot of people do not understand that. You must accept the good things that fame brings us, but you must also take the responsibility.
But you can't live your life for the public, right? I mean,
you certainly have to. I think you have to be a role model. I really believe this.
Joan, you're a great comic, one of the great stand-up comics of all time. Have you ever bombed?
Oh.
You bombed?
12 and a half minutes ago. You never know. You never know. But the difference with me and some of my other friends who are very successful is, you don't like that joke? It's okay.
I got another one.
I got another one. I got a whole different area.
It's a Henny Youngman theory.
Yeah, I got a whole other area. Don't worry. You don't like that? Don't you worry. Let's try this.
But when they're not laughing, your mouth goes dry.
I stutter.
5 minutes is an hour.
My act gets longer because I'm stuttering.
The whole shtick with you, though, you've got it made, don't you think?
No way. No way.
You're everywhere.
The older you get, the harder it is to hang on. Oh no, they're way beautiful. When you're young and you forget something, she forgot something. When you're older, you forget something. You know that. There's such prejudice.
There was a time when there weren't many, if any, female comics.
We were all dead.
No, I mean...
No, because if you were pretty, you were a singer. And men don't like funny, aggressive women. We know that.
But that has to be a new wave. Phyllis Diller really changed things for all of you, right? God bless Phyllis
Diller. Don't go there with me because I start to cry. I adored her.
She befriended you, didn't she?
When I was nowhere in Greenwich Village, when I was working with Barbara Streisand, and Barbara had all the A's, and I was just starting out, neither one of us were any good. Neither one of us had our noses done yet. I mean, it was really at the start. And she came and she laughed and she applauded the loudest. I never forgot that.
It's still, though, male-dominated.
Totally.
Stand up, right?
Yeah.
What do you think of the new crop? What do you think of Tina Fey?
Brilliant. Genius.
Kristen Wiig.
Good.
No, her face is hysterical.
Gorgeous and good.
Comedic actor.
Yeah, brilliant actress.
I don't know how she is as a stand-up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I always think of them as stand-ups.
What about Chelsea Handler?
let's keep going. We both work for E, and we have a truce.
Oh, you.
We have a truce.
What got you famous on the red carpet? How did that happen with you? What are you wearing?
That was Melissa. And,
We're going to meet her momentarily.
Yeah, and she was the one that suggested the whole red carpet thing. And I think we were the first one. Someone said to ask, what are you wearing? And the New York Times critiqued us and said, no one is interested in that. And we knew. We said, that's not something.
Now everyone does it.
Everybody.
Ryan Seacrest does it.
Everybody. Who are you wearing? Who are you wearing?
What do you think of Ryan Seacrest?
Smart as hell. I wish I were he.
He's got it down.
Oh, darling, got it down in spades. So smart.
Joan Rivers is our guest. Her daughter Melissa will join us. Don't go away. We're now joined, Joan Rivers and I, by lovely daughter Melissa. They, by the way, have their own reality TV show, Joan and Melissa. Joan Knows Best. It premieres again early in 2013. They have the fashion police. How did it hook up that you would come into the business?
I grew up over the shop, as they say. My parents' production offices were always in our house, and which was by grand design, so that my parents were still home all the time and home when I got home from school, because that was sort of their primary focus, not being out at wherever. And it was just something, we always used to say that my mother's career was like, we used to call it the career. It was like a separate child. So I went off to college and I thought, God, I don't want to have anything to do with any of this. I'm going to be in marketing or advertising. And then I realized it's really all I know. And it's what I'm used to, it's what I'm comfortable. I can't just watch TV and not know what was going on. I realized, well, it's the family business.
How'd the idea of a reality series come about with the two of you? Because you live in New York and you live in L.A.
My mom's now, though.
I'm now living a lot in L.A.
I'd
You're
say about
bi-coastal.
70% of the time in my house. And that was happening, and Fashion Police was becoming a weekly show. And we said, well, if we're going to do a reality show, let's make it something that's organic about, being an adult with a child and your mother, who happens to be Joan Rivers, moving back in with you.
Okay, for each of you, the same question. What's it like being with her on a daily basis?
It's wonderful because we have family. You know what I'm saying? I'm there. It's Melissa. We have my grandson. We have the mother-daughter talks at night. That's the wonderful part. The horrible part is I still cannot put it together that she lives her life the way she wants to live it. And she doesn't understand she should have finger bowls. I live a whole different kind of life.
In other words, you're
lifestyle.
You're a control freak.
You think so?
And the control is gone.
And the control is gone, and it's very difficult.
Most people in your age bracket would not want to live with their mother.
No, most.
Including Melissa.
I was going to say, yeah, there's a few of us that feel that way. And with my son about to turn 12, he has figured out how to work the system. And the old joke, why do grandparents and grandchildren get along so well? Common enemy.
Right. So therefore, this is a reality show that's really real.
Yes.
Because many of them.
No, people always say to me, "Oh, come on, your mom goes to a hotel, or where does she really live when you're not shooting?" I'm like, no. She's really there.
The funny thing is the network, when we did it the first year, kept sending notes back. This couldn't possibly happen.
No one would really be living like this. We're like,
yeah, and we know this truly happened, which I find so insane.
You have a beautiful daughter.
Thank you.
Who is divorced.
Yeah,
and is of an age where men would be in her lives.
Yes, good.
What is it like when a man comes? Does a man ever spend the night?
not with my mother there.
Does it bother you if she's with a guy?
It bothers me when she's not. I think everyone has to have somebody. Absolutely. I think everyone should have a relationship.
So, but most control freaks still can't accept the fact that their children could be with someone else.
No, she just wants to pick the person.
Yeah, well, of course. I'm looking, of course. Of course. Well, you've picked so far terrific people.
I'm not complaining. I'm not saying I've done a bang-up job myself. No. But I'm just saying, I think that it's not my mom does want me to be with someone, but she wants me to be with the person she thinks I should be with, not necessarily the person that
But I was very good with the last one.
Yes,
the
you were.
3 years, I shut my mouth.
Yes, you.
He was in Wall Street, and I thought maybe he's trading in Tokyo because he's not getting up for the hours that I know.
I'm a spokesperson for a great organization called Grandparents, Inc. It's a great website, and it's backed by Humana. Are you a good grandparent?
I think I'm a very bad grandparent because life is tough. I spoil him. I try to be his friend.
He gets what he wants from you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say she's a good grandparent in the fact that I have to say my mother and my son are exceptionally close. And they do have a lovely and wonderful relationship. Do I feel like that she's teaching him bad habits on how to deal with authority? Absolutely. Because when he doesn't get his way with me,
he goes to her.
And then she comes and negotiates with me for him. I'm like, really?
Well, he has a problem that you had, famous parent. Mm-hmm. How does he deal with it?
I think it's a lot like how I dealt with it, which is people always say, what was it like growing up with a famous parent? I don't know any other life. Right. It's like your kids. They must say, does your dad ask questions all the time and probe you for information?
Yeah,
no, it's my mom. It's like, people are like, was she funny at home? I'm like,
My 13-year-old, they all play sports, baseball, football, they're very good. The other day, he's playing his first football game. He says, are you coming? I says, yeah. Do not come over to me. Do not yell from the stands. And I don't want everyone in Huntington Beach to know that the quarterback of Beverly Hills is the son of Larry King. I said, do you want me not to come? No, come. Just don't be too there. No. Would you let your grandson see your act?
Yes.
No.
He's seen it.
He has seen it from the time he was 2 years old. Pays no attention.
It's like me.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like,
she used to sit on a stool.
Yours is not an exactly clean act.
No, my act is Adam. But again, look what they're watching. Look at television. What a hypocrite I would be to say, don't come and see my act, and then you can go inside and see, my God, blood and guts and sex, and everyone's in bed together. You know.
Yeah. Just the other day, and again, my office is in my house. I'm very much replicating my childhood, I think, for him. And I had a very hard day at work, and my mom goes up to me and says, be nice to your mother. She had a tough day. And we get in the car to go to, and he looks at me and goes, okay, what happened?
He said to you, what happened?
Who gave you trouble?
We'll be right back with Joan and Melissa. If I have to tell your last names, you're living in another planet. Don't go away. We're back with Joan and Melissa Rivers, the Fashion Police. Why does that show work?
Why does that show work? Because it's about fashion, but it's really funny and it's irreverent, and they've been amazing to me on E. Because Melissa's the executive producer, one of the two, they let me say almost every joke I want to say. And
you get to boss your mom. You're the EP.
Yes, I am the EP. I do a lot. I like to think of myself a lot of it like the UN, in between the network and my mom.
Are you tough?
On the network or tough on my mother?
Both.
Both, yes.
And there are arguments.
There are definitely arguments. There's definitely negotiations. There are definitely a lot of discussions.
It's a nice way to put it.
You know, and it works. The chemistry works. The chemistry with my panel works.
Yeah, obviously.
The chemistry, and the show is funny, and you know, I just
show is the second highest in the network.
Yeah.
And you're in industry with the QVC, with the shop. You're everywhere, right?
Thank God.
With your materials, your perfume, your jewelry.
Anything.
What are you?
Like, spread around. Yeah.
You don't need the money.
Of course you need the money. I never owned anything. Larry. I was always an employee. And I never took a green date in my life. I never did. I paid my taxes. So I'm very well off, thank you, God. But yes, and I live very well.
Speaking of taxes, will you release your last 12 years of income tax?
I have no choice.
What do you make? Are you into politics?
I follow it.
What do you make of the presidential race?
I'm not in love with either. Where I was in love with Obama. I'm no longer in love with him, and I'm certainly not in love with Mitt Romney. I'm not a fan of Paul Ryan.
Joan, what's your read on this political?
I think it's disgraceful that for 2 years they have campaigned. I'm talking about both sides.
It's too long.
Way too long.
England, what do they have? 8 weeks.
That's right.
Say it in 8 weeks.
So we're tired of both of them.
I'm tired and I'm disgusted of the money spent. I don't want to hear we don't have money for this and we don't have money for that when both sides are spending like fools. Obama goes around and says, we're the president, the candidate for the middle class people. $40,000 a plate. I was invited to 3 dinners for him. That's not middle class, you know? And what are you serving? Is there a choice? But I am pro-abortion. You know what I mean? So you're going crazy here. I wish Hillary would
Yes.
rise like a phoenix out of the ashes and say, I'm here.
Would she have won this race?
Oh,
I think she would win.
Absolutely.
I think she would win this time.
Bill would.
Yeah, Bill would, but I think Hillary is president, Bill is vice president, bingo.
But you interview all these guys, and I was thinking about this the other night when I was watching someone being interviewed, thinking, it's like talking to my 11-year-old son. When you ask them a question, you never really get a straight answer.
From either side.
From either side. You say, what do you think about this? Well,
If
it's
you're
like,
a totally direct politician,
and are there any?
I'll give you an example in the past. I'll give you two sides. George McGovern was a totally committed liberal. Barry Goldwater was a totally committed Republican. Both of them got whipped.
Yes,
Yeah,
I was going to say,
exactly.
and
But don't
If
you
you're
feel
going
like
to
you
say
never-
a direct answer, yes, I favor this.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
no, it's
You're
like
in
talking.
trouble.
Isn't it like talking to your kids when they know they've done something wrong? Well, but and so said, but what I really meant is.
Good tip. If you're watching a politician being interviewed and he or she says, I'm glad you asked that, you know one thing.
Thanks, I'm glad you asked it.
And they're
Exactly.
trying to think of how to answer it. So does it sound like you're going to vote for Obama? Are you going to vote for Obama?
I will probably vote for Obama unless the taxes rate. I am at the age now where I don't want death taxes. And I don't
Death
want
taxes?
Oh yes, after I spent all my life paying my taxes and I finally got this and this is what and now I'm gonna die and you're gonna that's called double taxation.
Well,
Where I'm
it
from,
only
I'm
affects
gonna-
1% of the population.
Well, I'm that 1%.
It stems from the British when they used to
Yes.
hoard. The kings kept all the money.
Do you see me wearing a crown? I'm moving to Denmark.
Now we'll talk about your life when we come back right after this. We're back with Joan and Melissa. You know them, you love them. They are attached at the hip. They're in kind of a reality show. They have the fashion police. They're everywhere. You see Joan. You look on television, Joan's there. Some social media questions. Charles Colani on Facebook wants to know, who are you dating, Joan?
They're all dead. And all the obituaries say the same thing. Harry Schwartz, 106, suddenly.
The chute didn't open.
Yeah. This is the first time ever in my life I'm not seeing anybody.
No.
Yeah.
Vince on Twitter is curious. Joan, is there still a ghost in your apartment? I had dinner in your apartment.
Yes.
Is there a ghost?
Yes. And I love her. And she's wonderful. I think she's protected me all these years.
You buy that?
If she wants there to be a ghost, there's a ghost.
And there goes. Joseph Onyorigbe on Facebook. What was the best moment of your career?
Which one of us are you talking
You.
to? Best moment of my career when I got my Emmy, because it's one thing they cannot take away from you.
Catherine Maxwell, both of you. What scares you the most?
Oh, it scares me the most. Something happening to my son.
Yeah, not even
Me
to
too.
discuss.
That's
Joan, you're always funny. What do you take seriously?
Family.
Biggest regret?
I don't know.
you always say that you didn't have more children.
Yes, yes, but I couldn't.
Well-
It wasn't that I didn't. I had 3 miscarriages. So
You lost your husband in a terrible way.
yes, that he committed
took his
suicide.
own
But I
life.
can't. That's not a regret. That's just
No, but do you ever think I could have done something?
no.
I think everybody who's ever it's suicide survivors. We always say the victims are really the ones that are left behind. I think everybody at one point when dealing with the suicide plays out what I call the what if and the if onlys. But if you allow that to continue, you will torture yourself into oblivion.
And what we have learned, because we work very hard for suicide survivors, is it's not what you could have done. It is what it is.
Do you think it's gutsy or chicken?
Oh, gutsy.
I think it's gutsy.
I
gutsy.
think
Boy.
it is amazing.
All right, we're going to play a little word association before we leave you.
Uh-oh.
I'll give you a name. You tell me what you think. This is perfect for her.
This
huh?
is genius.
Lady Gaga.
Brilliant, here to stay.
Tom Cruise.
Short.
Well, God love him.
God love him.
Yeah, I just wish he'd get out of my closet. I'd have more room for shoes.
Madonna.
Genius.
Yeah, anyone that hangs around and reinvents the way she does, Good for her.
Prince Harry.
Adorable, cute as hell, but again, with all those perks comes responsibility.
Stay out of Vegas.
Stay out of Vegas. Make sure the hooker doesn't have
Her cell phone.
a cell phone
I mean,
hidden in
come
her
on.
vagina. You know,
These
come
are
on.
these are basic things.
All I'm asking you is, they're stripped anyhow. Pat them down.
Do you want, all right, a couple of quick things. You want her to marry again? Do
Yes, sooner the better.
you want to marry again?
I don't know.
One other person to mention before we leave. Donald Trump.
Again, smart and there when you need him. If he's a friend,
He has a sense of loyalty that is really, really rare to find in
Really
any
not.
business.
A little whacked out in the presidential race.
yeah, but again, he stepped forward.
Yeah, I give him that.
Yeah, put his ass on the line,
Put
that's
his
for
ass
sure.
on the line.
But he is intensely loyal.
Loyal.
And that's,
If you called him right now, you needed something, he'd be
he's there. The number one attribute of friendship is loyalty. Thank you both. I love you
I
both.
love you so much.
Joan Rivers and Melissa Rivers, join us for King's Things. I'm there all the time, so should you be. We'll see you again on Larry King Now. Bye.